Welcome back to my Journey Through series, the series that completely burnt me out, but this time I'm doing it differently. Last time I went through Hunter x Hunter, there's a playlist on my channel of those videos if you're interested, but I had already finished the series and went back. This time I'm still making my way through AoT, so I've just recently finished season 1 and I'm currently watching season 2. I go over a short recap to remind you what happened in the arc, or in this case season, then we will get into my thoughts about all aspects of the story. Hope you enjoy the ride. I'm Wheeze. After that unnecessary explanation, we will get right into the video. Subscribe and click the notification bell for updates when I post part 2. Attack on Titan begins with Eren Yeager, a boy who dreams of exploring out in a Titan-infested world, when a Titan accomplishes its dream of exploring the human world inside the walls. After over 100 years of peace, this colossal Titan appears out of nowhere, breaks a hole through the gate, and these giant, man-eating naked monsters pour through. Eren, who lives with his mother and adopted sister, runs back to his house to find it collapsed and on top of his mother. He is rescued by a guard, but his mother is eaten by a Titan. After this, he vows to kill all of the Titans and joins the military, training to become part of the Survey Corps, which ventures out of the walls to find more suitable places for humans to live. He is joined by Mikasa, his adopted sister, and Armin, his friend. He completes basic training and through his actions gets several others in his class to join him in the Survey Corps, almost everyone except Annie. As they celebrate the completion of their training, they stand on the wall when the colossal Titan appears again and busts open this wall, which is further in. He disappears almost as soon as he arrives, and the new recruits are sent on the mission of damage control to defend civilians while they escape out of the city. Eren gets eaten almost right away, but then he comes back as a Titan. He rescues the other soldiers from the Titans in this form, but once he is out of the battlefield, he is met with suspicion and fear about his unnatural power. He is almost killed, but a commander sees that they can use him to retake the wall. After some setbacks, the plan is successful and Eren blocks the wall with a boulder. Then he is taken by the Survey Corps and gets put under the custody of Captain Levi, the coolest soldier in the entire army and the best Titan fighter. The Survey Corps runs a test mission with Eren to take back the first wall that was breached, and while outside the walls, they run into another Titan like Eren that has a person inside of it. They fight this female Titan, but she escapes after causing a lot of deaths. They return after the devastating mission, then stage another plan to capture the female Titan, who is none other than Annie. Eren fights her and they capture her, although not before she encases herself in this weird crystal thing. After all that is over, a crack in the wall from when Annie tried to escape reveals that there were Titans inside the wall. Then everyone waited 5 years for season 2, or they just read the manga. First off, I really like this anime. I'm not like, hype, this is peak fiction, or anywhere near that, but it's a solid story with some great concepts, good action, and compelling mysteries which give credit to its fantastic world building. Despite my few complaints, I'm really excited to get into later seasons of AoT because I've heard it only gets better with each season. And what I've seen of season 2 so far, it really does start to go off the rails. The first very noticeable thing about Attack on Titan is its horror aspect, and for the most part, it does it very well. The Titans are unsettling, and the humiliation of being crushed like ants by these brainless naked monsters gives a terrible feeling of helplessness, which is reflected in how the characters act. While fear is the most noticeable characteristic of this world, it's a little overboard with how hard it tries to show you the terror. Everyone freaks out after seeing a Titan, and it seems like their training did absolutely nothing, as most of the soldiers pee their pants and run away whenever someone even mentions fighting a Titan. I think there's a tough balance between showing their fear and making them seem dull and empty, but it was a bit too far skewed towards fear. But some of this just comes from translating manga to anime. One panel of a character's shocked face translates to 20 seconds of The only other major problem I had was with how people reacted to characters' deaths. It felt like how someone who had never experienced death would assume people would react to it. Yes, they should react and have mentions of people that have died, and yes, there should be scenes of them dealing with the death, but there are also soldiers. You have to expect it and be prepared for your friends to die. Again, it seems like training would have prepared them for this, at least a little bit. Anime like Full Metal Alchemist handled this much better in my opinion. I do like the horror aspects, but it was just a bit much at times. Okay, that's all my complaints, and from what I've seen of season 2, it performs much better and doesn't give off such a whiny vibe. Things I liked. The Titans. I mean, I hated them, but I feel like that was intentional. They are so stupid. How are these things humans predators? Along with that is the fact that anyone can die, except the main characters at least. I never really felt any tension that they were gonna die. I really like this writing trope, I guess it's a trope, that anyone can die. It not only brings in shock factor when a character is introduced and seems cool, and then they get absolutely destroyed, but it also makes victory against these enemies so much more satisfying when the character you liked doesn't die. This was used really well with Levi's squad. It wasn't pointless death just for shock factor, it also pushed Eren's character in finding the balance of trusting his team and trusting his own judgment, and it made the female Titan more threatening. But I also really liked them and did not expect all of them to die. We just got enough time with them to like them. The group had great chemistry too. Then they were all brutally murdered by the female Titan. The pacing was great. It didn't spend too much time with training sessions and got straight into the action. Whenever it felt like it was going to settle down, it brushed past any unnecessary stuff and got straight into action. More about this later in the video. Lastly, music and animation were both amazing. They sometimes used stills and shook the camera at times when Titans attacked, but they also did some insane animation for things that could have easily been skipped over. And the music was noticeably great. Now, onto characters. First, we will start with the three main ones. Eren is a pretty good protagonist. He isn't great yet, but he has potential. Technically, AoT is shonen, and it has a lot of shonen elements, but Eren isn't a typical protagonist, even if he shares the big goal, the special power, and the mysterious family characteristics. What sets Eren apart is his more realistic nature, and from the beginning, he gives off some vibes. Like, if you saw a dictator who conquered a huge area or started a world war, you'd expect him to be like Eren as a child. He cries a bit too much sometimes, but overall he's good. Mikasa was my favorite at the beginning, then I started to dislike her, then I started liking her again. She's crazy tough and one of the best Titan killers. Her obsession with Eren is a little creepy sometimes, and she is overprotective of him and that gets annoying, but she grows and gets better over the course of the series, and I can see where she is coming from. Armin seemed like he would suck when he was first introduced, but he is actually pretty great. After seeing Eren get eaten by the one Titan at the very beginning, he just went full useless mode, but for the rest of the season he is great. He is extremely brave considering he sucks at fighting, and being a genius tactician gives him something to do, so he doesn't feel like a forgotten character. It's always cool to see him figure out things like a detective. It doesn't feel forced to give him something to do either. It feels very natural. He just has a mind that thinks that way. I'm going to go into the other characters like Sasha and Connie in the season 2 video, so we just have a few more to talk about. Levi is voiced by Hiroshi Kamiya, who voiced Yato in Noragami, and Yuki Kaiji, who kills it in his role as Eren, was Yukine, Yato's sidekick in the anime. Both of them are fantastic in their roles, and though Yato's voice actor has a very distinctive voice, he played his role so well, I hear him as Levi, and for the most part, I can't even tell Yukine and Eren are the same voice actor, except for when Eren was young. I don't know if anyone cares about that, so about the character. Yeah, Levi is great. If I started talking about him, I'm going to do a full video worth of content, so that will have to wait for another time. But dang, he is so freaking cool, and I will be talking about him more in the cool moments section of this video. Erwin is voiced by Jotaro, okay, but for real, this guy is amazing. He is so hardcore compared to the other leaders. He has a I will do anything to accomplish the mission attitude, and has no problem with tons of casualties if it is the only way to succeed. Since he is the leader of the Survey Corps, he would definitely have to have this attitude with how many casualties every mission they go on causes. Lastly, for characters this time is Annie, the main villain for this season, who they defeat in the final arc. She was fine. I never really had any attachment to her, and she had like one cool scene. I thought she looked like the female Titan before it was revealed she was, and Armin also made that observation. But mostly I forgot about her. She was so closed off and distant, she didn't make much of an impression to me. But apparently she did on Eren, and through that, she brought out the worst part of his character, so I don't really like her because of that, which isn't really fair, but whatever. Alright, on to some of the big moments. These aren't all the important moments, just ones that stood out to me that I wanted to talk about. The opening was a pretty big moment with the Colossal Titan freaking everyone out, but I'm going to skip that and go straight into the first big standout for me, and that was the second time the Colossal Titan appeared. Their training was done, they were setting up for Eren to go into the Survey Corps, and the story started to feel slow. I was waiting for the next thing to happen, time skip or whatever was next, when the Colossal Titan just appears behind Eren. This moment was absolutely perfect. I was not expecting such an insane thing to suddenly happen, and the following battle battle was amazing. Following this was Eren getting eaten and then emerging as Titan Eren, which is teased as being caused by experiments from his father. His rage and victory against the other Titans to save his friends was satisfying, but the next really great moment was him waking up surrounded, with no memory of what he'd done. People obviously being afraid of him being able to turn into a Titan, but this guy, this idiot, I'm not even bothering to look up his name, one of the worst characters in this anime, which is saying something. There are a few big idiots in this season, fires a cannonball at him. And so Eren removes all doubt that he has a Titan ability. After this, Eren and Mikasa plan to run with not much of a plan except don't die, and chooses to trust their fate to Armin to explain to the officers that Eren isn't going to kill them. Armin thinks he is just a burden on them, but realizes they never saw him that way. So his speech doesn't work because, again, this guy sucks. But then Pixis comes into the story and he listens to them. This is a great moment because, I don't know, I like Armin. The next moment is the military tribunal. Everyone is arguing what to do about Eren after he repaired the wall, and then Eren is just like, everyone trust me for no reason. And the moment was given that epic shonen moment effect, like it was something special. And I was like, if they agree from that statement, this is freaking stupid. Then Levi walks up and just beats the crap out of him. Levi is so sick. He's just like, you all suck and I could kill him no problem anytime I want. There's no one else who could. So you want to try controlling this monster, military police? And then Eren achieves his goal of joining the Survey Corps. The next moment isn't really a moment, but more of a concept. The entire test mission for repairing Wall Mario was amazing. They had a strategy for avoiding Titans with their complex formation, sending off signal flares to show where Titans are and when problems arise. It was a super cool strategy, and we got to see the individual parts of the formation along with the big picture of what was happening. It was all super cool. Within this arc is a great moment between Levi and Mikasa. They together fought the female Titan. Now, I like Mikasa. She's a freaking awesome fighter, but Levi has experience and is so much better than her. So in these situations, I get worried they'll make the new amazing rookie main character get the spotlight. But Levi absolutely demolishes Mikasa in the skill showdown. He tells her to go after saving Eren, not killing the Titan, which seems like something she would be on board with, considering how crazy she is about protecting him. But she sees an opportunity to kill the Titan and fails miserably. Levi not only saves her while taking an injury, but also saves Eren. Mikasa was completely useless for the first time in her life, and it was because of not following orders and thinking she was better than she was. It was great, and involved the themes of this arc about the balance of following orders and trusting your fellow soldiers, and doing what you think will turn out best, despite what you're told to do. Levi makes a remark that no one knows how it's going to turn out, so you just have to make your decision and deal with the consequences. Pretty brutal message. At the end of this arc, we get a few soldiers who want to recover their comrade's body. Erwin tells them they aren't going to spend more soldiers' lives for this, and they are very upset. So the two of them go back to get the body and attract Titans to them as they go back to the caravan. With the Titan behind them catching up, they have to throw the bodies they did have off the cart to lighten the load so they could outrun the Titan. This scene is horrible and sad, and the idiot who gets his friend killed and didn't even get the body back gets totally let off the hook. Screw that guy. But we also got one more shot of Petra's body getting thrown off the cart. So yeah, really brutal. I loved it. The only thing I have to say about the final fight between Eren and the female Titan is that it was a shonen fight, and it was fine. I was hoping for more teamwork between Eren and the soldiers, but whatever. Titan Eren got angry and wins. Also, this scene where the wall cult church gets demolished was hilarious. It was so dark and awful, but also the funniest thing in Attack on Titan so far. As for my final thoughts, I just have to say this show is really great. I'm excited to see the story progress, as it is already fantastic, and this season is usually considered the worst. A great concept, I realize it's just a zombie story except with big zombies, and a good execution. The mysteries it set up really makes me excited for the next parts. Lastly, there's a lot of disturbing things, but nothing made me more uncomfortable than watching Titan Eren and female Titan fighting. Just the two naked monster bodies and how they fought, and the expression on female Titan's face. I know female Titan is the enemy and much more experienced than Eren, but just looking at the fight, the vibe was, On to my favorite moments where I rank stuff. Right now, we only have one season, so not much for this one, but we'll have more comparisons for the later videos. You've made it this far, subscribe! Next part out soon. For this arc, top 5 characters are number 1, Levi, obvious reasons. Number 2, Armin, not the best at the beginning, but as it went on, he really had his head on straight, and someone thinking rationally was a nice change of pace. I also like the physically weak characters that excel in other areas. Number 3, Erwin. Erwin was close to beating out Armin. I just loved seeing him on screen, almost more more than Levi, because we saw him less and everything he did was super important and super cool. You never knew what he was thinking. Number 4, Mikasa. She's just cool. What can I say? She has her obsession and faults, but I am always rooting for her except when Levi is around. Number 5, Eren. Yay, our main character made top 5. I really like how insane Eren already is, and a lot of people like Levi can already see it. He's pleasant enough, but under his skin is a monster he can manifest, and it's not just the Titan. I've heard a little bit about him in later seasons, but he is already set up to fulfill his reputation. My favorite moment was the second appearing of the Colossal Titan. I cannot express how perfect the pacing on that was, and it was a huge shock. My favorite season is season 1. Yeah, we'll get back to this in later videos. That's all for me. Pretty long video, but I think this is the longest season? Or one of the longer ones, so shorter videos for the next parts, hopefully. Hope you all enjoyed. Liking the video is very appreciated, and leave some comments on your thoughts of the first season of AoT. No spoilers, please. Subscribe if you want to watch more videos from me, and check out my journey through Hunter x Hunter for more videos like this one. That's all for me. Ciao meow.